Hi, this is Erin from Blossy Bee. Welcome to my channel and happy Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day in Australia today and in many other countries around the world. To celebrate this, the plan for the video is to make some gifts for my school's Mother's Day stall and to share some amazing quotes about motherhood and celebrate mothers everywhere. The school that I work at is so lucky to have the most incredible school association made up of parents, friends, extended family, etc. And every year they run a number of different stalls for both fundraising and also to support our students to be able to participate in special days like Mother's Day. So today is Sunday, and 3 days ago, on the Thursday, our school had their very special Mother's Day stall, and it was just amazing. There are a lot of items donated. There are volunteers who come in and set everything up so beautifully, and all of the classes visit one at a time, often with the students clutching some money in hand that their parents have sent along with them. And then they get to choose some items to take home for their mum or a mother figure in their life. So it is always my pleasure to make up some items to donate for the stall. I actually have been setting aside little bits and pieces all year, but this is just the last little batch that I made up, and I thought what I'd do is I'd show you how I make these particular ones and then show you how I package up all of the other fridge magnets that I've made throughout the year and turning these into as well. So I'm using water slide decals here. Now, these are an amazing, like a sticker type of material, and they come in these little sheets that you can see. Now, I always trim mine up to get rid of any text or numbers on them to do with the production of them. And then I put them in water, and then after about 30 to 60 seconds, the pieces start floating off. They come away from their backing paper, and then you can start placing them into your molds. And all I do is I make sure that the printed side is away from me, so I just see the back. I press them down into different patterns and shapes, and then I'm going to be able to pour resin in on top once they've dried. So I've got a couple of different molds and a couple of different patterns that I'm going to be working with. But while you're watching that, I've got a couple of quotes that I thought were amazing about motherhood, and what better day to celebrate that than today? So in Australia, we say mum, and in America, I think it's a little bit more like mom. But either way, I think you know what I mean. So this one was lovely. Happy Mother's Day to all women yearning to be mums, who are new mums, who have never had a mum, who have lost children, who are fur mums, who are bonus mums, who are mums, who have lost their mums, and who are mother figures. I really liked that one because I think that it's important to remember that you don't have to have given birth to a child to be a mother or to feel emotional or, have deep feelings on a special day like Mother's Day. Okay, so the next one represents how I feel about my own mother. I can't be with her today. She lives quite a long way away from me, but I'm always thinking of her. And this one reads, "Thank you for teaching me how to be a good woman, mum, and human through your example. Happy Mother's Day." When I became a mother myself, which was a very, very long, difficult journey of many, many, many years of IVF and miscarriages and surgical procedures and just, yeah, I know many of you can empathise with that because you've been through similar. But when I became a mum, I realised that I wanted to emulate my own childhood and experience and give my beautiful son, who is just quite simply the best thing I've ever done and ever could do in my life, all of the wonderful opportunities I was given and all of the amazing examples that were set for me as a child by my mother and my two grandmothers. And it was an absolute honour to be able to pass on those ways of being and doing. So mums are pretty important. I thought I'd sneak this cute little one in as well from Betty White. "It's not easy being a mum. If it were, fathers would do it." I love it. Okay, so back to our project at hand. After finishing placing all of the waterslide decals, I just gently go over them with some paper towel and remove any excess water, and then I just let it sit for a couple of hours to completely dry out because we don't want to risk resin going in on top of anything that has moisture. I'm using River Resin Fast Cure today. It's a 2-to-1 epoxy and I mix that up, and for some reason I either didn't video it or videoed it and lost it, and I'm deeply sorry. But I mixed it up and I tinted it this very pale green just with a mica powder. I'm just giving it a little squirt of isopropyl alcohol here to try and pop any bubbles that may have come up onto the surface. And then I'm just going to go through and carefully fill each of the spaces straight over the top of the waterslide decals. So another quote I loved is this one: "Some women are mothers because they stepped in and stepped up exactly when they were needed." And look, I take my hat off to those women who may not have given birth to a child, but they have gladly taken on that mothering role, and thank goodness for those women. And the last one that I'm going to share is this one: "Behind all your stories is always your mother's story, because hers is where yours begins." And that really, you just have to stop and think about that for a minute, because without our mother, we wouldn't exist. And when you on to become a mother yourself, you start realizing that everything that you are is because of your mother. Whether you've got a close relationship with her, whether she was in your life, just even the basic genetics are there. I'm very lucky that my mother is not only my mum, but she's probably my best friend. She's a confidant, she's cheeky, she's a bit naughty, and I love her to bits. She isn't probably a typical mum. She's very clever and witty, very good with words and games and trivia and history. She was an amazing golfer back in the day and played tennis. She's had more friends in her lifetime than I would hope to have in 100 lifetimes. She has friends today. She just turned 88 a couple of weeks ago. And she has friends today that she has been friends with for probably around about 84, 85 years. They started school together. They still adore each other. And she was one of 6 children. She was the baby, and she's the only one of the family left living. So she's become the matriarch now of that part of the family. And her mother, in turn, my nan, my maternal grandmother, was just probably the most important person in my life. And there's barely a day goes past where I don't think of her. She was a proper nan. She just adored me. She had a little secret name for me. She called me Henny Penny. And I just felt totally safe and loved with her always. She's was a very quirky woman too. And I just wanted to share a funny little thing with you. She married my grandfather, and he was a farmer. And so they lived in this really quite lovely home out at a little place called Wesley Vale in Tasmania. And Nan brought up 6 children, and actually quite a few of the grandchildren as well. And she was hilarious, really. She was a bit naughty and a bit cheeky too, which I very much loved about her. And she loved food. And I'll never forget, she'd go out to pick raspberries. But her idea of picking raspberries involved taking out a teacup, a spoon, and in the teacup there would be some cream and sugar. So there was no chance on earth of all of those raspberries coming back inside. She would pick them, and they'd sit in her apron or a dress, and she'd come back and sit on the front steps and just enjoy those beautiful raspberries. I'll never ever forget that. I loved my grandmother very much. Mum, as I said, has had so many amazing friends, and, you know, just still, she's got terrible short-term memory issues these days. Absolutely appalling. Like, couldn't remember if she's had breakfast. Appalling. But if we walk down the street together, she will know everybody. She knows who married who had who, whose mum was who went to what school, who did what with who when, and it's incredible. So I'm very, very lucky. Now, I have zoomed past, but I turned all of those pieces into magnets just by using super glue and adhering magnets to the back of them. Now I've gone in to make some packaging for them to make them look really pretty for the kids to choose and take home. So I've gone on to Creative Fabrica and I've found 10 different images that I think are very sweet, which have the little message, Happy Mother's Day. I've imported those into Microsoft Publisher and I've made up a little template that will fit some little plastic bags that I've got. And then when I'm happy with them, I'm going to print them out on my Canon Pixma, which is my home desktop printer. And then after I've printed them all out, I'm actually using 200 GSM paper, although it's really more of a card. I'm going to cut those up and then using double-sided tape, I adhere them to the little display piece, and I think that they look quite cute and pretty, and hopefully will make some mum happy. And yeah, so I'll just go through now and cut up each of the sheets. I started off doing it by hand, but then that was getting a bit tricky for me. So I thought, look, I'll get out my trusty old guillotine and chop them up. And I think as I was watching this back, I thought, oh, that looks a bit dangerous. But I promise you, it was very safe at all times, and no limbs were lost during the making of this. And after I wrestle them, and I mean wrestle them into their little plastic bag, I just snap the enclosure shut, tape the end over, and put a little bit of sticky tape on the bottom, and then they are ready. And it was such a pleasure to be able to take a bundle of these into the stall. And I did actually have some people say to me that they had purchased them or received them, which was really sweet. And so what you'll see is I'm not only making up the ones that we've just seen in this video, but all through the year, I'm constantly making extra pieces. So for example, a few weeks ago, I had a video with some beautiful Harry and Wilma glitters, and I made a whole lot of hearts. So here they are, and these are perfect to turn into fridge magnets and to use in this case. And they are so sparkly and so pretty, so I was able to use a lot of those. And then I've also got other different hearts that I've made up, large, small. I've got little turtles. I had some seahorses, all sorts of little bits and pieces. So it's always nice to have a little selection to choose from. And I think most of us who work with resin, keep a little stash of moulds that are really good for making up extras. And then it's always a real pleasure. That's my dog. Someone's breathed somewhere, and of course that's against the law. It's always a pleasure to be able to give them to somebody. Oh, and these are the cat ones actually, because I know a lot of the mums at our school are cat lovers, because the kids tell me all the time. And dog lovers too. I had some dog ones in there as well. Okay, so I'll just probably fast forward a little bit through this next section, but still stop to show you each of the finished products. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I would like to wish all the women watching Happy Mother's Day, whether you have given birth or you've just stepped up and taken on that role, whether you're a fur baby mum, whether you're thinking about your own mum today, whether you've lost her, whether you've been able to share the day with her, or looking forward to seeing her at some stage as well. I think we're pretty jolly lucky to be able to have mums and be mums, and it's something that I would never take for granted, particularly after my journey to becoming a mother, and becoming a mother at a fairly late age. But when I look at my absolutely beautiful son, who is just the light of my life, I realise that there was that deep desire in me all my life to become a mum, and it is my greatest pride and pleasure now. And I feel like being a mum has made me a better person. It makes me, I think, a great teacher. And I think it shows me just the way forward with my life, and making sure that I'm a role model and an example, not only to my son, but to other children, and hopefully other mothers as well. Oh, I'm getting a little bit teary thinking about it all now. And I did get the most beautiful. I got the holy trinity of chocolates today. I got a box of Ferrero Rochers, a box of Lindt, and a box of Kilian Belgian seashells. Whew. I should say they'll last me a year, but we both know that would not be telling the truth. So thank you to my darling son for that. And I got a beautiful hot chocolate in bed this morning too, which was just gorgeous. All right. I will show you at the end just a little clip of some of them that I bundled all together. But I'm so grateful to you for sharing this time with me and watching this video with me. And as I head towards my 100th video, and I've just reached just over 900 subscribers, I really do want to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your ongoing support. I am just so new to YouTube, and this has all just been a whirlwind, and I couldn't have done it without the amazing people who keep me going and who have subscribed and who comment and share and who give me feedback and suggestions and who have been there for me when I haven't been very well and going through different things. So it means a lot to me. If I could ask, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, but you're watching this video and maybe you've enjoyed it or got something out of another video, would you please consider subscribing? It really does help, and I can tell you now, when I see I have a new subscriber, it doesn't matter whether it was the first or the 50th or the 500th, it just makes me do this little happy dance inside. I can't believe that people all around the world take time out of their day to watch me craft. So thank you. It would mean the world to me, and you mean the world to me. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Happy Mother's Day. Bye for now.